Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Mine's going really good. We got Mr. Brode down here taking a nap, and my wife ran off to a doctor's appointment. No grandkids. The house is totally quiet. So I thought I'll go ahead and shoot a couple of videos while I got this peace. So listen, I wanted to talk to you real quick about a scripture that's found in 1 Peter 1:17. And this is what Peter says. He says, "And if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear." Now, why would Peter use the word fear? Pass your time while you walk upon the earth in fear. And I want to talk about that word fear. You know, as a born-again believer, the moment you're saved, you become a citizen of heaven, a child of light. And the minute that happens, that means that we are no longer of this world. This world is no longer our home. Heaven is. And you know, I completely agree with that, because I'll tell you, the longer I live, the more I hate this world. I hate the sin in this world. I hate all the injustice, and I am totally ready to move on. He goes on to tell us in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11, he says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against your soul." So we've entered into this spiritual war. And we are to be about the Lord's work. And the demonic host will do everything in their power to trip you up, to harm you. And they're going to fight you tooth and nail every step of the way. The demonic host will do everything in their power to harm you. And listen, any sin that you get tangled up in, the demonic host will use that as a legal right to mess up your life. When you're a child of God and you're walking in this world, you're in their domain. And when you get tangled up in sin, that gives them the legal right to harm you. And that's why Peter says, pass your sojourning time here in fear. You do not want to give the demonic host any legal right to mess you up. He goes on to give us a roadmap. He tells us 4 things that will help you so the demonic host will not mess with you, to keep them at bay. And it's found in 1 Peter 3, verses 8, 9, 10, and 11. And this is verse 8. "Finally, be of one mind, having compassion one toward another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous." Peter tells us in verse 8 to let love guide you in this strange land. In this world where the demonic host is running rampant, if you will let love guide you in everything you do, the demonic host will have no legal right to come at you. Verse 9 tells us, "Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are all called that ye should inherit a blessing." So Peter's telling us that, listen, you need to be a blessing to everyone. Be a blessing to them. Help them along. If you do that, you will keep the demonic host at bay. Verse 10, Peter goes on to tell us, "For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile." Peter tells us to watch every single word that originates in your heart and comes out through your mouth. Everything you say, the demonic host is listening. You know that people that complain, if you're having trouble in a certain area, and if you always complain to people about it, the demonic hosts know that that's where you're weak at, and they will use that against you. If you never bring it up, they can't read your mind. If you don't speak it, they will not know. Watch what comes out of your mouth, especially toward others. You start slandering others, you're giving them the legal right to come at you. So watch every word that comes out of your mouth. And in verse 11, he sums it all up. He says, let him eschew evil. That means keep all evil away from you. Don't have anything to do with it. Keep away from evil. Remember, people, places, and things. Anything that's evil, keep away from it. And then he tells us, do good, seek peace, and pursue it. Every one of us should be constantly seeking peace. If there is anything in your life that takes away your peace, that is an avenue that the demonic host is using to inflict you. Seek peace with everything you got. Keep evaluating your life. Evaluate the path that you're on. Anything in your life that takes away your peace, and it's always people, places, or things. Anything that takes away your peace, get rid of it. Let's sum it up by saying this. Listen. If you're a child of God, you are to watch everything that comes out of your mouth. You're to be a blessing to everyone around you. You're to help them along their spiritual journey. And you're to seek peace and pursue it. If you do those things, you do not have to fear. You don't have to fear because God will protect you. But if you allow sin in your life, if you allow things to rob you of your peace, if you do those things, you are giving the demonic host a legal authority to come at you and harm you. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.